Okay, welcome to episode 2. So in the last episode, I was going to take a look at this cylinder. I went over to my buddy Mike's at Mike's Bikes this morning. He had a look at things and he thought it was pretty good, so hopefully you can see that there. All he did was run a dingle ball hone through it. It come up really nice. So I've decided I'm just going to buy a new standard piston. It'll come with new rings. Freshen it up. There's no point in boring it right now. I think you'd just be wasting the cylinder, and I have not seen many of these on eBay that were any good. So we'll get that on the way from Australia. I don't know why it's just Australia, but it is. I did some more research on this fender. In the last video I realized it's the wrong color. I hadn't really looked at it before. You can see the difference between the fender and the tank. And initially I thought I made a mistake ordering it, but it turns out this is the proper updated number, but obviously the color is different. This is R134 Fighting Red. This is R120 Blaze Red. So I'm going to leave that in the package because I think it would look dumb to put a red fender against an orange bike. I've got two front fenders, so that'll be another video. I'm going to try and polish out the best one. I think that would look better. It's not like the back fender's perfect either, so that's about all I can do there. I have yet to see the proper color one for sale anywhere, so if you're going to do one of these QR50s, you better be prepared to learn how to polish plastic. But today we're going to have a look at the frame. I'm going to finish taking everything apart there, probably take the tires off, and I'll have to take the frame and the wheels to the body shop to get them to color match. I know I've looked into R120 before, and my local body supply has never heard of it. Some colors they have, like R119 isn't hard to find. That's an 84 CR color. R134 Fighting Red isn't hard to find. They seem to have a code for that, but R120 they never heard of, so we'll get them to color match it. And then after that I'm going to clean up this engine case and start taking that apart. One interesting feature about this, it's got a little micro switch here, so if your handlebar isn't pulled in when you kick it over, you got no spark. So kind of a little safety feature, good for kids. One thing I noticed, this steering stop is bent. It's supposed to hit this on both sides and stop it from hitting the tank or whatever. So that's bent. I'm going to try bending it down and hope it doesn't break. If for some reason it does, I do have a MIG welder, so I can fix it. I'm going to have to paint the frame anyway. Okay, I'm going to take this steering stem apart. A lot of times on these older bikes, it'll just be ball bearings in there. There's no cage to kind of hold the bearings together. So I've got a bucket underneath. And when I take it apart, if they are dry and I do lose them, you know, they're not going to go flying across the floor. So when I first flushed this oil tank in the frame, I noticed the Varsol wasn't coming through like it should. So I back fed it, and this disgusting glob came out. I don't know what it is. It looks like something out of a fish tank. I don't know what it is, old sludgy oil or something. But, and I noticed there was some water in there. So it's flowing good now, so good thing I did that, because I don't think it was getting the full oil through that tank unless there was a little spot underneath lower than the port to collect that kind of stuff. But should be good now. So I kind of cleaned most of the grime off with Varsol to start. I just kind of kept away from the electrical and everything, and then some brake clean with some compressed air. I'm going to try and get this as clean as I possibly can before I take that outer cover off. That way you don't run the risk of getting contaminants inside. It's always good to have it clean before you take it apart. According to the manual, that should be the oil drain, so hopefully there's some oil left in this. We'll find out here. So that's a good sign. Okay, I've got this apart now. It's actually fairly complicated. I'm going to have to dig into the manual after I get the gasket cleaned off and everything and get it ready to go back together. Okay, I've got all the gasket material cleaned off the case. Everything here seems to work fine. It's smooth. These dogs here, I was looking inside this cover. There's a timing mark here to the case. Probably line those up. Probably timing marks all over the place, so I'm really going to have to read the manual and pay attention when I put it back together. For now, I'm going to clean the gasket material off, clean all the oil out of it, and then I can go ahead and paint it. Okay, I've got the case all cleaned up. I've kind of roughed it up with Scotch-Brite so the paint will take. I'm going to start with a black primer. I'm not going to put the primer on real heavy. I just want it on there to kind of help this engine enamel bite. This stuff can fisheye on you if you're not careful. We'll start with a little light coat of primer. Okay, the primer is tacked off, so I'm going to hit it with the gloss black engine enamel. So once I put the new stickers on there, that's going to look brand new again. Those little tires are surprisingly hard to get off. I'm going to have fun putting that together with rattle can paint on the rim, but figure it out. It's quite a bit of rust spots on this rim. I'm going to take it with me to the body shop when I take the frame and see if they can match it. I don't really want to use like Krylon or something like that. Like something a little better if possible. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. It's supposed to get real cold this week, so I doubt I'll be able to work on this anyway. But it'll give me time to go get some paint made up, read the manual a bit. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. See you again.